on what's going to happen on Cash.
I mean, okay, actually, I see them. If I was to Skull Lounge, I might have picked Mirage. Anyways, it doesn't matter. That's old time now. But like Cash, anyways, I've seen some decent results from GODSENT in the past on this map. Obviously, Go Lounge should be favored going into this one, being their map pick and looking a lot stronger, especially individually. Like you were mentioning now, so they were hitting shots, and that's something that you need, especially coming into like a second map here, where, I mean, I don't really see GODSENT rising, because for me, this performance was more than just the map. It was like weak individually.
A complete.
They need to honestly, like, if you want to be brutal about it, they just gotta grab themselves from the balls and just go towards the wind. Basically, you gotta fight it. I mean, that was a weak showing. That was the worst GODSENT I've seen ever. Yeah. And yeah, I think the only way to get around is to just get more testosterone in their bloodstream.
Yeah, the thing is, though, saying that, having looked at Pronax over there when he was going up the stairs, he didn't look, you know, at all upset or whatever. He had a smile on his face.
He's pretty calm about
he's someone that I know personally. He's a friend of mine. He's a very positive person. I doubt that he's going to be in any way tilted from that. He's going to be ready. No, he's a veteran of so many majors. He's won so many majors.
If you want to be totally honest, I mean, it's a best of 3. It doesn't really matter what happened in one map. You just got to totally reset.
Yeah.
I think if anyone, he's obviously, like you just alluded to, going to be able to do that. So, I mean, I don't think that we should take too much off of what happened in map number 1 leading up to the map number 2.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for them really is, like, obviously Pronax is going to be able to handle it, but Palf obviously had not the greatest game. I think it was 3 and 15, because he got 2 kills in that last pistol round before he got taken down by Twist. But you know, like, for these more inexperienced guys, how they're going to handle the fact that they got off to a bad start and really didn't get to kind of get into the game. They just got manhandled the entire time. And the previous times we've seen GODSENT play Train, they've also had pretty rough T sides, but they've been able to win the CT pistol and get a couple of rounds on the board. So they kind of get a feel for what it's like actually having success. This time they just got stomped completely. So if that's going to play any effect going into the second map, if they're going to get off to a slow start, that could be an issue for the lesser experienced ones.
I think that's definitely the essential thing, and the key about this is, how is the start going to be? If Skull Lounge, Dobry&Gaming, if they get out to a good start, and for example, a guy like Pauf is not really hitting shots in the beginning, and so on, it's definitely going to affect him, because players will always be able to bounce back if they get off to a good start. He gets a 3K in the pistol, etc.
Yeah, or the eco rounds, like you mentioned earlier. Yeah,
exactly. Then they're going to bounce back. But if you get a rough starting into this map, it's especially for younger players, I guess it's going to go in and hit them mentally. So I think the beginning of this map is going to be very important, and it's going to be probably deciding who's going to run away with the second map.
Yeah, sure. I think that's accurate, but it's definitely on GODSENT right now, because Dobry, the games we've seen so far have been pretty much all over very good, and they don't seem to be slowing down. And GODSENT was just like it was pretty much a non-show, so it's on them to really bring it now.
The mental game then for GODSENT has to be pretty much pitch perfect here, because it's not their map pick, so presumably they were a lot more confident with Train. They're going to have to pull something out of the bag here.
I mean, like, considering they have the 2 bans, so eventually you'll still end up in a map pool that is going to be at least decent for you, right? So I don't think the map, like I said before, these maps are maps that both teams like to play, so I don't think the map should be taken too much into account in terms of like
100%.
how these teams are playing against each other.
Yeah, I'm by no means trying to discount them at all. I'm sure that they can pull out the result. It's just coming off a map like that. The thing is, though, is it better to lose a 16-14 or overtime sweaty loss, or is it better to lose like that where you just get it done and then you're ready to start off the next map?
I guess that differs from team to team. Depends on what kind of mentality you have. And for some people, you can lose 16-14 and feel like, oh, we were really in that and we should have had it. Let's do it next map. While others really get down on themselves because it's a map they could have closed out and they were so close, but they didn't make it, and that just rains down on them. And, you know, on the other side of the spectrum, you lose 16-1. Either you get super angry and you can't focus on the next map, or you're just, well, that was the dumbest thing I've ever experienced, so let's just put that behind us.
Yeah, the good part about losing 16-1 is, okay, let's just forget about the map. I mean,
so there was talk about.
Yeah,
really.
there were so many mistakes. It's not even a point of like bringing up the talk. But then again, the scary part is when you lose 16-1. Obviously, you're not connecting your shots either, because it's not only a tactical problem, and that goes back to the beginning of the point, which was they're not warm individually right now. So I would say for a matter of this situation, I would rather have seen them, if I were GODSENT, lose 16-14 and have been having a competitive game and be like, you know what, if we just change some small things, if we don't make these kind of errors and what do I know after plans, etc., then we might have won it. So let's just focus on this one. We should be better than them now. I mean, 16-1 is just such a massive scoreline that it's hard to bounce back from.
Would you say then it's harder to bounce back from that in opposed to losing a more normal?
I think one of the hardest.
It depends on the matchup. It totally depends. Like it's all a matter of if, let's say, if you're playing a map like let's say it's like a NIP Fnatic kind of a match. If you lose 16-14, you're gonna be bummed. If you lose 16-1, you're gonna like, oh well, that we got ranked.
That
Doesn't
happened.
matter. Let's go to the next map. So it's all a matter of what the matchup is like.
Just to draw a parallel, there was that time that Fallen and his crew, so another very famous in-game leader, very different team of course, but they lost on Dust 2 16-0 to Fnatic at DreamHack at the end of last year, DreamHack Winter. And then that was a best of one given, but then they bounced back and went very far into the tournament, did very well. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
the finals. But the thing about that is, you know, it was one separate game. It was not like they had time to readjust. They actually practiced before playing the next games as well. So I mean, they had time to reset, you know, like here, GODSENT, okay, we're actually having a pretty long analyst segment, so they have some time as well to readjust. But I mean, these kind of 10-15 minutes, I mean, they have experienced players who's obviously been losing maps before, so they should be able to bring the other guys up. But then again, 10-15 minutes from a 16-1 loss, I don't think actually it's going to harm them that much.
No, I don't think it will matter at all at this point. It is a ha-ha moment, seriously, because what else can you say? It all went to shit.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you analyze that? Even from our perspective, from their perspectives, like we just got wrecked on. It doesn't matter really. You move along, next map. That's why they're professionals. That's how they're supposed to be able to clear their heads.
Exactly.
Unless you're SK, and then you just get wrecked.
Don't
forget about it.
One of the keys of being a professional in any sport is being able to manage that mental side of things. And GODSENT here will need to come into this map with a clear mind, not really. We're really worrying about what has just occurred. We will be going into the knife round soon, and then the casters will take over. Henry and Matt will be back. And so, any sort of final points, anything that you'd like to add before we we do that?
I don't think there's more to add. I just think there's, even though I think we're going to see better showing from GODSENT, I think this is going to be 2-0 for Dobry.
If you want to get rich fast, go and get some skins on CSGO fast. And if you want to make real money fast, you go to EGB and you bet that GODSENT is going to get more than one round in this map, because I'll guarantee you that much. Otherwise, I'm paying you. Okay, no,
okay, yeah, be careful, be careful.
That would be dangerous.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm sure
Totally
people...
genuine lines, by the way.
I'm sure people have already used LiveCap to get that powerful
to get this one and get it out on the internet
later.
No,
it's probably already on the Reddit.
Yeah.
So, Palf, if it's out there, be strong, brother.
Commiserations.
Don't worry. You're better than that. We know that. It happens to everyone. Happens to everyone. Okay, we hopefully will be approaching that second map very, very soon. I haven't had word on it quite yet. I might be getting that right now. No, I'm not. Which means...
Who would have thought?
In any case, it seems like Henry's ready to go. He's meditating in the corner.
He's meditating.
Henry, do you want to get in shot? Sado, do you guys want to come back in? Keep us extra warm? No, they don't.
No, they've had enough.
Definitely done.
It's been a long day. They're ready to get this all wrapped up. But who knows? GODSENT could take the second map, and we could be going into a third.
Let's throw out there. Okay, so if GODSENT is to make this one back, who do you believe has to step up, and who's going to be the man in charge?
An overpass.
Well, everyone pretty much has to step up from that previous game, but I think it's
the usual. No, Mirage. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's the usual suspects pretty much. Twist is obviously going to have to play a big role in it. He's going to have to go head-to-head with Sphero and actually win that duel outright, and if not him, Schneider. But also Lekro, who's been one of their heavy hitters at the events they've been at so far. He also needs to be able to really assert his power with the rifles. So yeah, it's gonna be on everyone in the team, and obviously Pronex, you can't really get away with getting one round on the T side, and the T sides have been an issue for GODSENT so far. So we need to see some of that old school Pronex magic.
Something that we'd usually do is highlight a particular player, but I feel like in the case of GODSENT, off that last map, there's not really anything that we can say, because they just all need to just play, at least play average. They need to come together and have individual performances that are just okay, because then they can stand a chance of doing something. If they, once again, 4 of them don't really do anything at all, then it's going to go down the drain.
Yeah. It's pretty. Yeah, it's that simple, and sometimes that's just how it is. It's like how bluntly put it. When everything goes down the crapper, there's not much.
It's already past that. It's
like
already past kids' bedtime.
Yeah, well, if you were to make a good and bad list, everything is just like on the bad list. There's nothing positive to take from that game, and there's not really much to talk about.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised, in fact, that we're taking so long to get into the second game, because I'd imagine these players want to get right back into it. GODSENT
Maybe GODSENT are refusing. They're like cornered up.
Pulling a Na'Vi, saying that they want to set up in here instead.
Reverse Na'Vi.
Yeah, reverse Na'Vi.
I forgot about that earlier today. Na'Vi, they went outside and managed to turn their fortune around. That was kind of like the momentum changer.
Zeus treated that.
Must have been a GODSENT.
Yeah, so maybe GODSENT need to do a switcheroo and say, no, we want to come off the stage, we want to come inside. Okay. Maybe that will change their fortunes. Probably not. Maybe they just need to pray.
Yeah.
Probably do, right? I mean, yeah. Even though we're talking about individuals here, and obviously individuals need to turn out, but at the same time they need to play off of each other a lot better. Basically, meaning they need to be there to trade kills when their teammate's full. And I want to see them play a faster pace. I don't want to be them trying to be Na'Vi number 2, waiting till the last seconds and then running out of time, having to do these hasty decisions without having any knowledge of what the defense is doing. So take the initiatives and understand that you want to be the aggressor.
There's a reason for Na'Vi being one of the only teams being able to do that, if not the only, right? I mean, you just got to have a certain groove, a certain feeling, a rhythm of how to kind of do this very slow pace and get out and get the trades with basically nearly no grenades sometimes. I mean, it's just something different, and it's something that nearly no other teams is capable of. So trying to copy that kind of playstyle, it's just difficult.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna copy your playstyle after anyone, I don't think Na'Vi would be the first pick, because that's definitely for the specially invested. To put it that way. Faster pace from GODSENT, perhaps aggression on the CT side, like we see in Hellraisers being successful with versus VP, even though they didn't quite hold on for the entire game after their T side faltered. But try to at least put Dobry&Gaming off balance, because at this point they're just brimming with confidence.
What we're waiting for, by the way, are some technical issues. They are in the process of being solved, so we're just waiting on that. When those are resolved, we will get into that second map.
Yeah.
And I might already have an update on that.
I mean, technical issues, they always occur while the players are gone from their PCs and no one is touching them, and then they get back, and then
it's almost like our headphones.
Yeah, right? It just happens.
Magic.
Yeah, black magic.
So, what did you have an update on the technical issues?
No, I didn't.
Okay, you might have one. But
yeah, because I had a brief, like a half conversation, not even half, a 5% of a conversation of a voice, which then
it's a lot less than a
disappeared.
half, mate. Yes. It's a lot less.
Yeah. I'm wondering if at this point we can take a break. That would be very useful to us. We've really covered everything that we can.
Yeah.
And it would be very useful to us to leave it at that, because I think there's only so much you could do with analysis before it just becomes talking about random topics and talking about things that aren't necessarily relevant to the
ducks.
Yeah, relevant to the game. And we're good to take a break, so that's what we are going to head over and do. On the return, it will either be us to just quickly introduce the casters, or it will be the casters straight away. And Henry's looking very excited at the prospect of that off camera. Anyway, we will see you shortly after a commercial break for the second map, which will be Cash, and it's between Dobry and their opponents, GODSENT.
We dream so colorful. Oh, we love so strong. The world is relentless, the city won't sleep. It hardens your soul, brings you to your knees. But we can face it all. We forever.
Hello.
Hello, welcome everyone. Knife round underway. We are going to jump into the second map. Apparently, whatever issues there were have been resolved, and I am speaking English directly. Oh, they didn't tell me I was going to be on camera. Good thing I put my shirt back on.
What camera are we in? Hi. How's it going?
Are we on their screen too? I'm confused. They're laughing. We're all having a good time. I was going to say that
Right.
we were literally talking English over his Russian.
That's what we should do. He came over and wrecked us, so...
I should have just walked in this stream and done the same thing. But yes, we are ready, and Henry and I will bring you map 2. 16-1 was our first map score. Rather shocking fashion, I guess, convincing fashion for CSGO Lounge, and GODSENT got absolutely
This is the
wrecked.
thing, right? They get 2 vetoes going into that series, and I'm just wondering how bad they are on the other 2 maps.
Overpass and Dust 2 were their bans.
Surely, like, Dust 2 can't be worse than what is trained. Like, they just, like, it wasn't just a bad game for them. The overall direction and the tactical depth they had on that map was so limited. It seems like they're running a very weak default to kick things off. Schneider was on the AWP. And we've got the meters right here. So let's break this down then. So, yeah, overpass
So it
and Dust 2.
goes, yeah, left, right, middle. So it would have been ban was Overpass first, Dust 2 is second for GODSENT. And they picked Train.
They picked Train.
According to how that is laid out, they picked Train.
Like, that's like mind-blowing. I wanted to swear there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to restrain myself. So Cash isn't even their pick. I thought he just assumed from what I saw.
They did pick Train. I just got confirmation in my ear.
Good Lord. Well, maybe it was just a horrible game for them. Maybe they had.
I mean, we did see them laughing. Maybe they just literally couldn't get it going and decided.
They got 1 round.
Speaking of 1 round, we have 1 player left in the server for GODSENT. It's Pouf. He's going to take them on 1v5.
Well, it's lucky we kicked the guys off the desk and got over here, just in case.
Just in case.
Well, should we get the camera back onto us and we can start like a podcast or something about?
See what we've got today. I haven't really been checking the news, to be honest. The Americas Minor has started. And there were some convincing scorelines there as well. Optic, I think, gave up like 8 rounds total in the first. That's NHL.com, not HLTV.
I saw TSM got a decent victory. Is it over NRG? I think that's what happened.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's been happening online, though. TSM have been getting the better of them recently, so that's good to see TSM bouncing back. People have been kind of crushing them in terms of like they don't think that Alliance is going to do anything. I think Sempus has been doing a pretty decent job with that team, especially him. Especially since
he's good on the op again now too.
Exactly.
He's got the freedom.
Like it's very easy to kind of dismiss them as a team, but I actually think they're doing a decent job. They're obviously working very hard.
My Wi-Fi doesn't work good enough, of course, to get to HLTV.
Of course.
I think I've been out of 15 events this year. I think there's been 3 that I've been at that have had decent Wi-Fi.
That's why we need to start getting 4G routers. Maybe that can be the first topic of the podcast. The Wi-Fi for casters at events. It does make sense.
It's not just us though. In fairness, it's everyone.
Yeah.
And it's I think I used to have those same glasses. It's an issue because a lot of us, when there's international events, come over from overseas and don't have data in Europe.
Well, it's beneficial for everyone. Obviously, we can boost the event. We can post our thoughts and kind of start conversations. We've obviously got big followings, so it's beneficial for everyone involved to have a little bit of Wi-Fi. But it does just come to the venue sometimes, Matt. They are using the infrastructure that's available here, and obviously we're doing a big gaming event. We're taking more of the bandwidth in the stream.
That's why I think, as you say, that the 4G dongles might be the best bet, because that way there's no issue in terms of where you are for infrastructure, unless you're in some sort of bunker that won't reach to a satellite or a cell tower. But I mean, part of it here is yesterday was great, but I think there's just so many people here that are on it today that it's a little bogged down.
Well, that's the first topic done and dusted.
Yes.
So the
second topic.
We've done I guess that's the third. We did the American minor very briefly. We've got no information, of course. So that's that first topic down. We've done the Wi-Fi topic. That's obviously hot right now. I guess we move on to Twist versus Schneider. Why is Twist not open?
It's a good question. It's a good point. Both are riflers at times as well.
He was a nutty AWPer. When we used to see him,
I think he's better than
Copenhagen
Schneider.
Wolves and what was that other team they had? The mixed team, the Swedish mixed team. The name escapes me right now. He was always murking 4. We casted a lot in Fragbite.
It wasn't Torpedo. It was Identity.
Identity, that's it.
Yeah.
Whenever he murked for them as well, he's just crazy. Super aggressive with the AWP. And now we're seeing Schneider. And he's a decent player, but I think Twist is much better. He's like almost world-class levels with the AWP. And I'm interested to see why they're not. I'm interested to see an interview maybe and work out why they're not using him properly, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that Schneider can't top. We've seen him do it before in the past, but I think, Schneider's...
On paper, you're just like, well, you've got Twist there. Obviously, he must be AWPing, surely.
Yeah, I think Schneider's probably better suited on the rifles as well. So you're kind of...
Maybe it was just train. Maybe it was a train thing.
You kind of handicap yourself twice by having them on the opposite roles. Pronax, chilling. They've got GODSENT t-shirts on now. They've taken off their sweaters. Maybe it's a little warmer in the booth. That's why we're inside now, not outside, because it is quite chilly. It is still raining, as you can see a few raindrops.
Yeah, well, what is it right now? It's almost coming out to midnight, so it obviously gets very cold here at night. It's not exactly premium summer conditions.
So
so
HLTV now.
the problem is like using your voices outside like that for like 2.5 hours in very cold temperatures could absolutely wreck your throat. So they want to make sure they keep their golden boys happy.
Kirby has his debut tonight with Astralis. They play against FaZe. Last night, I think 27-11 is what KGB went in his first game with Dignitas.
I was just thinking some interesting thoughts today. Like some people were suggesting it actually benefits both teams. They think both teams can actually come stronger out of this. Obviously, Dignitas don't really have a set AWPer right now. And that means like KGB can come in. There's a lot less pressure on his shoulders. Obviously, he had like some mentality clashes with Carrigan and how he wanted to play the map. And they always kind of seemed to have to go back to where KGB felt more comfortable. That was always the problem. Now he's going to Dignitas. He could go, guys, I want to be the full-time AWPer here. I can take the responsibility off from MSL and actually say, well, I'm going to do this for you. I'll be the full-time AWPer and actually boost the team that way. And obviously, this revitalizes Astralis. Got a little bit stale recently. People are catching on to how they play. And obviously, like I said, trying to work around KGB's kind of idea of how he wants to do things. And I think this could actually be positive for both teams. I think that's a good statement. Obviously, Kiabi, a crazy fragger for Dignitas, the star player by far. But obviously, KGB coming with a lot more experience can help some of the younger guys re-establish themselves. That could be really interesting to see how that goes forward. Obviously, it's a shame about the whole major situation. How does it work with KRB going to Astralis? I assume, with the other way around. KGB, he obviously can't go to the major qualifier.
Yeah,
then,
no,
right?
so
they need to find a stand-in as well.
I forget. I haven't had time to read into it all.
So I know it works one way around, but how does it work the other way?
Yeah, exactly. Kirby can't jump in with Astralis. They can use a stand-in, but Dignitas I don't think can. I think Kirby has to play with them in the qualifier.
I guess that makes sense, right? So, yeah, so he would probably just stick with Dignitas for that event. There's no reason for him not to be there, maybe.
Pronex just walked by us.
Oh, God. Is this major technical difficulties again? Well, RDL's in the chair right now, so... Well, we are going to... Let's get into some content, Matt. We need to dig deep here.
Yeah,
it's been a long day, but we're going to do some right now.
I'm trying
Let's get us a
find
good call.
more.
Let's get one topic we can sink our teeth into. Something.
They did an AMA as well, by the way, Astralis, to talk about the specifics of the ownership deal. I know in the clause, apparently, it said that they get 3 months' pay, and then at the end of that, they have an option to sell their shares.
So when you leave, you get 3 months' pay, like
redundancy
package.
Right, exactly, which KGB will now get. The other thing that he tweeted out saying he will not have a say in their business operations at this point.
27,000 euros, so...
Yeah, I think I may have misunderstood, but yes. It's something along those lines. Now, I've got to read, again, that's something I have to read more into. E-League signs a partnership with Twitch.
E-League starts this week.
Yes.
So that's another big thing, right? We know a lot of our guys are over there right now, and it's going to be
trying to get there.
Yeah, trying to get there. E-League kicks off and signing up for Twitch as well. So we've got the best of both worlds. You're not limited to just watching on TV, of course. I think that was always going to be the case. I don't think you could have a league as big as that not being shown in Europe, right? So that's really cool. The Twitch are involved as well. Obviously, Twitch involved in a lot of these big tournaments at the moment. Obviously, they've got ECS coming up, which they partly own as well. We've got E-League, Twitch, pulling out all the stops as usual, Matt. Looking after everything Counter-Strike related.
Yeah, I mean,
esports is at the forefront of entertainment.
Well, forefront of entertainment, and not just esports, but Twitch in general has done a lot for gaming, let's be honest. There's so many people that in this industry that without Twitch would not be making a living, us included.
Yep.
Obviously, if there's nowhere to watch the games, all the players as well, the frequency and reach of advertising wouldn't exist. And all the streamers, the Summit 1Gs and the Tim the Tapmans.
Creating careers and making dreams a reality.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive. Gaming is now a job. Are you going to start streaming in your downtime?
I considered doing... I mean, I'm not going to stream in a serious capacity to the point where I'm like, oh, I want viewers, everyone watch me. But yeah, I mean, I've turned it on and played Alien Isolation. I get like 30 viewers. That's fine by me.
Nato and
if
I...
you want to watch me, you can. If you don't, you don't.
And when I have June off, like for most of it, Nato and I are planning like doing some like fun stuff, like kind of grinding through matchmaking and doing dual streams and stuff like that. So we're going to try and have some content, just give something back when we're at home. Obviously, don't want to be completely out of the loop of things. I don't want to be off the radar.
To be fair, for me, one of the issues with me is, and I was going to invest into it and decided not to. I still have like a 60 hertz monitor at home.
Yeah, you need to saw that.
Yeah, well, the reason being is because before I went full time in casting, I was focusing on photography. So I bought panels based on Adobe RGB reproduction or sRGB reproduction. And a lot of those, the newer ones come now with a better hertz rate, but I was focusing on color reproduction, so gaming wasn't a concern. Playing CS on a 60 hertz monitor is ridiculous. I mean, it's extremely hard, especially if you're opping or anything really. Trying to flick when you can hardly see what's on the monitor.
Oh yeah, this is 60 hertz is just pure.
Yeah,
pure,
so streaming and CS
situation.
for me haven't been a priority while I'm home. But if I upgrade that, I would definitely consider playing a little more, maybe streaming a little bit more.
Do you know what I think we'd be really good at? Like a CSGO radio show. We could actually put in some of our music as well. So we could do this kind of chat, and then we can chuck in a track every now and then. It's going to break it up, when we go to the next subject. That would be really cool. It's not like a podcast. It's actually like a live radio show we can do. We have some music.
This is one thing that's really not worthy of an announcement on stream. But just speaking of music, is I want to start sharing a playlist with people.
I've done that already.
Spotify.
Yeah. So
have you?
Yeah. So I shared I did a playlist called Henry G.
Did you do a collaborative?
Yeah. No. So no, mine was just shared to the public, right? So people could follow it.
Right.
So I think it's got like 300 followers right now. So it's called Henry G. 1988.
So they're more manly than we are.
Well, I think. Yeah, that's where we should be. But yeah, we're too scared to be out there. Yeah, to finish your point, yeah, it's a really cool way to kind of share your music and show people what you're listening to right now on Spotify. And yeah, for you can. I know you've got quite a diverse range of music. I'm quite specific with what I like.
Yeah,
very broad, eclectic taste.
To be fair, I wasn't on Spotify. I don't know why I wasn't.
You used to slagging it off for a while. You were saying, "Oh, it's not good."
Yeah, well, I didn't see its value because originally when I was looking up bands, I couldn't find a lot of the stuff I listened to. A lot of like the obscure '90s stuff wasn't on there. It is now, definitely is now, and I'm glad that someone wisened me up. Thanks very much to that person. I mean, it's definitely something that I want to do. So I've got a couple of playlists I'll make that I'll share, but I also want to do a collaborative so people can add songs to it and show me their music. And then obviously there's going to be trolls that go to delete everything, so I'll just copy that playlist one for one, and then with a non-collaborative one.
Yeah.
So it exists still, and then if someone trolls me, they troll me. Apparently we're almost ready to go. I did see a couple of the Dobry. I still see a Dobry player sitting over here. Should we just bring him onto the desk with us?
Probably not. Might be a conflict of interest. We just watch the first game. If we give any sort of information away, it could be a bad thing to do. So I would say no.
All right.
You shouldn't. Really
just come sit and chalk with us when he's supposed to be getting ready.
Yeah, because that's the kind of territory you go in and said, "Oh man, you should have been doing this." Like, and then he goes, "Oh yeah, good idea. I'll go do that on the next map." So be very careful.
As if I would have any ideas better than theirs. But
I learned that lesson very well at a UK LAN once. Where I went onto stage actively. When my team was playing, and I spoke to them in the pause. I was like, "Yeah, guys," and I realized that you can't actually speak to anyone when they're on.
Was this recent? Was this last year?
That was like last year. Yeah.
Oh no!
There's a big pause coming up. I was like shouting to them, like, "You need to start doing this," and then the admin's like, "You can't say anything." And then again, I was like, "Yeah, that's probably a very good point. Actually,
that's a good point.
Don't speak to anyone when they're actually."
To be fair, at an ESCA LAN once, there was a pixel walking. This was like my first LAN ever, and I made the same mistake. There's a pixel walk issue, and I looked at, I'm not going to say even which two teams were playing, and I looked at one of the coaches of the teams and was like, "That's pretty illegal." And he was like, "Really?" I was like, yeah, whoops." So shouldn't have done that. But we all have our moments.
We all learn as we're going along. Somehow we haven't ruined our careers as of yet.
We're getting closer.
Yeah. Well,
we are getting closer.
I'm going to look on the Reddit right now. Starladder's 6 stadium setup. That's still at the #1 spot. That's been there for about 2 days now, so that's actually pretty cool. They have made it an amazing venue here. Like, the fact it's actually in a real-life stadium. You can see the floodlights coming on now. I think it looks best at night. That's when all the colours really stand out. You can see the light show really working at a full blast there, so that's really cool. It is a really impressive stadium. Just when you go out there as well, even though we go out and we're listening to Russian casters, like, you can feel the atmosphere is really cool. The crowd are really enjoying it. We even got to watch the League of Legends earlier as well. That was really cool to see the guys getting behind the Russian team and stuff. Unfortunately, they didn't win. I think they got beaten by the guys called RNG. I can't remember what that stands for. Maybe.
You're talking about Empire and Rampage?
Rampage, that's it. Yeah. It was quite a cool game. Quite interesting to see how League of Legends gets done here. It was Dota last time we were in Minsk for Starladder.
That's right, it was Dota. Alliance actually won that tournament. It was their return to form after the recent patch that came out just before. It was like everyone said it was the TI2 Alliance where they were, or TI3 Alliance.
It's always interesting to see how other games kind of
their meta worked.
And how they entice the crowd and stuff like that, and see where the popularity lies within most of the countries and stuff. CSGO, they seem to have a big following here. Of course, you got like when you have a team like Navi, like someone who's like representing you at the top echelons of the scene, it's very easy to like build up a fan base in a certain country. And actually have people turning up to these events, especially like when you go to Katowice and stuff, even though VP were in a horrible slump like that, when they got through the group stage and made to the final 8, you could see how much it affected the final crowd setting and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, just another example of that, and it's a very different example, was the MLG Major.
Sure.
I thought going into the qualifier for that, there was a chance we would have no USA teams even in the Major. the way things were shaping up, the whole NACS memes came out around that time. The start of 2016 did not look good. There was some roster inconsistencies. I thought, that's it. We're going to have a first North American major, no teams. We ended up having 4 by some off chance, including Splice, and 2 made the playoffs. And that made the atmosphere in that arena so much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely agree. It was
kind of like a...
Hometown hero is always, it's with any sport, right? Like, that's why people, like, they want to have a team to get behind. It makes it more exciting for them, more interesting, and they feel like more invested into the game instead of just appreciating the Counter-Strike.
According to Twitter, Dobry means good in Polish.
It does. I got tweeted that as well, and that does make sense. So it's good and gaming?
Good and gaming. Good gaming.
What's the and there for?
I don't know.
Good and gaming. Good and gaming. I think it translates probably a little bit differently. I don't think it's so literal. But Dobry&Gaming. They'll be playing right now. Obviously, the Ex-CSGL Lounge team from Poland, Eastern Europe as well. They're up against the Swedes in the form of GODSENT, who lost the first map 16-1 on Train, which was their pick after 2 vetoes, Matt. Unbelievable scenes. I just assumed it wasn't their pick after what I saw. Some shocking performances there, but still, like the guys are saying, the analyst desk, it does happen. These anomalies do creep in every now and then, and it's a best of 3. You just need to pick yourself up, and dust yourself off, and move
try
on.
again. If at first you don't succeed.
Exactly.
Was that?
Who was that?
Aaliyah or TLC? That was Aaliyah.
I don't know. You're normally very good at the 90s girls band, so I don't know. You actually
no,
are.
I have a little sister, that's why.
You know all the Destiny Child songs. I remember we had this whole thing.
Yeah.
So you definitely were good. And your favorite film was Beauty and the Beast. So I can tell you
my
and your sister
favorite
had a very
Disney
close
film.
relationship.
Okay, actually, we argued more than anyone, any sibling ever.
Really?
There's still animosity between us at times.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
She's great. We just, it's fun. It's a good time. Beauty and the Beast is, come on, it's a good one. It's not bad.
I wouldn't say it's the best. It's.
I wouldn't say it's the best either. It's a matter of opinion, and therefore I can't objectively say that. But in my opinion, it is up there.
Have you seen Big Hero 6 recently?
I haven't even seen that at all.
That is really, really good.
So I don't. When I say my favorite Disney classic film, you got to remember Pixar films weren't really around when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So Pixar, I don't really include in that debate, which means therefore I could have a different. I like WALL-E a lot.
What's not even Toy Story?
Toy Story would be the
original one, like 1996.
Toy Story 3 made me cry harder than any film in the world.
Yeah.
I think I've told that story before. I lived with two girls that I went to university with at the time as roommates, and they thought they were going to cry.
It's got that big evil baby that turns out to be nice. That's what gets me at the end. He's like he wants to be nice. Then
it's just the fact that he walks away from his childhood. It's like literally, I grew up with that movie. It was like
that was kind of sad actually. Like the last scene when he spoiler alert when he turns up and gives away the toys to the little girl, and it's like
poor Andy.
It was kind of nice, but. You know, Andy, you got to move on with toys sometime. You know, you're not going to do well at university with all those toys. That's all I'm going to say.
I still have all my stuff. I still have all my stuffed raccoons.
Yeah, and look.
Actually, I'm going to tweet it right now. I had a pet raccoon at one point. Let's tweet it.
I had a pet chinchilla.
Chinchilla?
Yep. Do you know what one of those is?
No, they're like a small, almost like a hedgehog-ish.
It's like the cross between a squirrel, a rat, and a rabbit, I would say. Like, they're really crazy animals. They've got really long, bushy tails. They've got a body like a guinea pig almost, and a face of a mouse, maybe a squirrel. And they can jump super high, right? They can jump from, like, they're maybe this big. You can't see me right now, but they're maybe like the size of, like, a small rabbit. And they can jump, like, 10 times their body height. So imagine a really small rodent being able to jump into, like, a really tall shelf. Or, in my case, he jumped into the toilet, and that's how he died, unfortunately.
Why do we have to go there, Henry?
That's just saying it was a really bad time for me. They actually live up to 20 years old. They're a really unique rodent in that sense. They can live up to 20 years old. He was like 10, and he jumped into the toilet, and he didn't die from the actual incident. He just died after 2 months later. He never really recovered from it. He got a cold from the water, and his body just shut down. So rest in peace, Pi, wherever you are right now.
All right, I've tweeted out one. I'll tweet out more raccoon pictures at some point, maybe. I have a bunch of that little guy.
I've got some pictures.
He ended up being the biggest raccoon. You couldn't even see his feet when he was done. He never really learned how to hunt, so we just fed him human food all the time, and he was so spoiled that he went from being the tiniest little guy, he was a runt that was abandoned, to being basically a beach ball that you couldn't see his feet. He was the fattest raccoon you would have ever seen in your life. It may not tweet because it requires having decent internet.
Do you have to buy them especially to be pets? Presumably you can't just get them out of the wild and say, yeah, we're going to keep this one. Surely they have to be bred and shown that humans are...
Which, the raccoon?
Yeah, you can't just pick it up from the wild, right?
No, we did, though.
Okay.
They're illegal. We couldn't even take it to the vet, so we kind of had to monitor it early.
Yeah, because they can be rabid sometimes.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is? They're actually not a vicious animal. It's very defensive, and they're extremely smart. So we're so far off topic now, we might as well just keep going.
Yeah,
if you put
it's
a
fine.
piece of meat in a garbage bag surrounded by newspaper, they'll sit and look at it for about 2 or 3 minutes and reach straight through the side of the garbage bag, grab the meat, and pull it out and walk away. They make 1,000 different noises. They're very, very specific on their noises. And the only time they get defensive or aggressive is when they're backed into a corner. We had a dog at the time, Fritz, not Jaden. And they didn't really get along. So whenever Remy, the raccoon, got pushed back into the corner, that's when he would start to get quite snappy. The ones in the wild are a lot more aggressive around humans because they just don't understand it. But Remy was totally calm around us. He would climb up our backs. He would play on our shoulders. If you gave it an egg, it would poke through the egg and suck out the yolk. If you gave it a cherry, it would eat the cherry standing on its hind legs, spin it around, and lick off the pit and its hands before it walked away. They're very, very smart. Very, very smart. But we have a map fly through.
There's a bot, though, so I don't think this is going to be studying anytime soon. We'll keep going with unique and interesting discussion going on here. We're talking about animals right now. Twitter's in your favorite animals. This is the Drive Time show with Sadekis and Henry.
Drive Time?
It's just Drive Time somewhere, maybe in America right now. So, yeah, we're just providing entertainment for you as you make your commute to work. And, yeah, the topic right now is interesting animals. We've talked about raccoons and chinchillas. Send us in your favorite interesting animal and try and make it as bizarre as possible. So I've also had hamsters, dogs, chinchillas. Nothing. I've never had a reptile. Have you ever had one of those?
No. Although,
Here we
I think
go.
my sister had a newt.
Oh, yes.
She
that's
may have. We had some
aquatic.
fish. They almost died. I almost overfed them. We had a hamster. He bit me on the finger. And we had a cat called Sawima, Sarah, William, Matthew. That's all of our names as children. And then we had Fritz, the amazing dog. He was awesome. And Jaden. So Fritz and Jaden are both husky mixes. They're both very passive. But Jaden's such a little diva, which is why I enjoy her, because she always gets her way, whereas Fritz was just a bro.
Okay, well, I've got a laptop now, so we're going to delve into some deeper topics here. We've done animals pretty much to death now, as we did talk about dead pets quite a lot, so it all comes around. It's all full circle here. We're going to CSGO Reddit. Let's see whether we can take it back into something a little bit more relevant here. We are taking your calls as well, so...
Taking your calls?
The number will be up on your screen. Imagine we could do that in the radio show. We could just take a little Skype
No,
call
do you know how many kids would we get trolling?
No, we'd have like Parla to interview them before they
Censor
come
the
on.
calls, that's right.
That's all you need to do.
But that's not an easy guy to fool.
It's true. It wouldn't take much just to come on and start screaming. Obviously, we're avoiding the whole Wester stuff right now. We tried that yesterday and realised we can't really say too much about it. And it kind of lowers the mood. It gets very serious when we bring that into the discussion, so we're not going to do that. The offline qualifiers have been announced for ESL 1 Cologne. That's something we can talk about, maybe. Obviously, we've been doing most of the minors here. We haven't done the NA stuff, but we did do the Korean stuff, and we've been following closely the European ones as well. I'm just going to bring up the final teams for the offline qualifiers for the majors, and we'll maybe talk about that for a little bit. Here we go. The teams, Matthew, envious.
Yep. That's crazy.
Previous
They have to qualify.
Major champions. They're
That's a
going
fall
to-
from grace.
Obviously, didn't make it out of groups in Columbus, Ohio, and they'll be going towards the major qualifier. So, very interesting stuff. And let's see, pick out some other big names here. FaZe, I'm not so surprised about them, but still, it's another name you expect to see at the majors. Obviously, Kingwin and GC guys. Now, FaZe Clan. We have also got Cloud9, another team that normally makes it to most majors almost every single time. Obviously, had a rough time.
They've always
in
had to
Ohio.
qualify, too, though, so this
True.
isn't out of the normal for them.
Yeah.
Fluffy gangsters.
That's the CIS guys, right?
Yeah.
Same with Team Empire. Tyloo, I think
I'm excited for Team Empire because they have Electronic.
that's true.
He's a good little player from what I've seen.
A good
His
little player.
statistics seem amazing.
Renegades, who also qualified from the Asian minor as well. They'll be coming in with Tyloo. Tyloo, a team that's exciting me more and more. I see them play. Like they've got some really sensational talent in terms of raw skill. It'll be very cool to see how they'll be coming into that one. Dignitas, Hellraisers, of course. Like we said, Dignitas. We assume Kiabi will be playing with Dignitas, although that's not confirmed. Obviously, I don't think that's been commented on as to how that'll be going on. Maybe they will. Maybe it's Cadian's chance to shine somewhere in that mix-up. He's hoping, he's praying he can either be on Ristralis or Dignitas. Someone let him play. He means well.
He does mean well. He's played with the TSM guys Australis guys, obviously, when they were TSM before. In fact, he had a moment where he knifed someone inside smoke on Mirage, if you recall.
Yes, I do. Well, that about covers that subject. Keep going obscure. I like it when we could actually just have normal talk. Seems I'm going to fill the airways with nothing.
You can win this knife Doppler.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Doppler knife.
Who's giving this away?
This is esportspools.com. You head over there, sign up with the code SLFinals. I don't know if the capitals apply, but if so, it's capital SLF Finals.
So do that, basically, if you want to win one of those nice little knives. Matt would love that, but still hasn't got one. He's owed one by Simple, I think. There has been an update, Matthew, for CSGO. Here we go. This is something we're going to look at. So, this was sent in by Valve to us today. They're a little company based out in America. They'll be dealing with all the updates for CSGO, apparently. But the main thing is cash. They give us 3 bullet points. Instead of just putting it in one line, it just says forklift with roof. And what does that mean? The forklift always had a roof. Does that mean it's keeping the roof? Or how do you interpret that?
Sorry?
Daydreaming, of course.
I'm reading Twitter.
CSGO Reddit. There's an update for CSGO.
Yes.
They've given us 3 lines. This is how it was released in the patch notes.
Forklift with
roof. So what does that mean?
So, I know what this means. Do you recall the renders that were actually posted?
Yeah.
People put up screenshots the day that it was reported there was actually going to be a forklift change. One of the renders that went to the top of Reddit had no roof at all.
Okay.
So one of them had a single pillar. So rather than having the 4 pillars that create the roof now, they had a single pillar, 1 in the back, 2 in the front, and it was a little bit cleaner to shoot through, whereas the other one had no roof at all. So they are going with, I would assume, then the 3-pillar roof, which is a significant difference.
Well, we've just been told the analysts have gone home, guys. So it's just up to me and Matt now. We're going to carry you through this.
This is, oh my goodness.
We'll be carrying you through this one, and we'll see.
January 24th, 16th. Did someone tweet on my account? Oh, this was when Yanko tweeted out some Serbian song. Someone just favorited the song on my Twitter. I leave my Twitter signed in too many times.
So we're getting sent in some interesting animals right now. My favorite animal is Sadakis and Energy. That doesn't really work. My favorite animal was a direwolf. I think that's fictional, so I don't really think that really applies to this whole subject we're talking about. We're talking about interesting animals. And I feel like I'm watching Animal Channel instead of CS. Yeah, accurate. And that's about as good as the tweets have got so far. You guys, you had the opportunity to send in, we'd read out your story live on stream to thousands of people, and the best you could send me was arbitrary fictional characters and saying we're your favorite animal.
At this rate, the teams are going to have to warm up again.
I had a man-bear-pig for a while, and he sent me a nice little picture.
I saw that one as well.
So that
looks kind of gruesome.
Guys, send it, if you want to send us in your questions, we're more than happy to answer them. It looks like we'll be filling this for a little bit more time. I know headsets, of course. So quickly, while you can, before it starts, send us in any questions you have. Just treat it as like an ask me anything sort of thing. We're trying this as the drive time show right now.
Wow, Giuliano just wrecked me on Twitter.
What did it say?
She goes, damn, you were so cute. What happened? I'm assuming she's talking about the raccoon picture, and then she goes, oh, never mind, it wasn't you.
Oh, there is a picture of you in the
She just wrecked me, yeah.
Throwback to this wild critter. Such a blast and a character to live with. What was his name again, sorry?
Remy.
Remy.
Yeah. There's like, they have plausible thumbs. We took it to the liquor store once, because you have to go to liquor stores.
That's why they got little hands, haven't they?
Yeah, and we had it in the car, and when I came outside from the liquor store, there was like 20 people surrounding my car, like freaking out, like, oh my God, there's a raccoon in your car. I was like, what, there is? And then I just got in and drove away. It was so good. But yeah, he would be able to open up the cupboard doors, take the snacks, and my dog would be like, how did that happen? And then my dog would attack him to try and get the food.
Right.
And he would pounce, and the raccoon would run away, but the food would run with him because he'd run on his back legs holding it, and my dog would still be like, I don't understand what is going on. And he would play catch other than fetch. So if I rolled a golf ball under the TV stand, he would throw it back at me.
I find my dog's really stubborn with fetch. Like, he feels like it's like he's owned me when he picks up the tennis ball. He's just like, well,
yep, you got to catch me now.
You're not getting this back.
Yep.
Come and get it. And then he starts growling when you come near.
Too.
He's just like, oh, yeah, you want this? You got to fight me for it. And that's he prefers the fighting to actually playing fetch. He's like the weirdest dog in the world. I'm not really sure what his mentality is there, but he's a cute little guy. Or maybe I'll send a picture of him as well. Keep the animal discussion going, and we're going to be going shortly into this one, guys. There has been, I can assure you, major technical difficulties to give us this delay. We have played the first map, if you are wondering. This is the final best of 3 of the day. It's currently 12:15 here in Ukraine, Kiev, beautiful place, but we are going to be a little bit longer. It's going to be the second map will be Cash, which is actually Dobry&Gaming's pick. So presumably, this might get even worse for GODSENT after their pick train ended up in a 16-1 defeat. And I'm not really sure what you can say about that one. It was a horrible affair for them, but maybe they can bounce back. Stranger things have happened. They definitely had enough time to talk about what happened there and rectified the mistakes. And I'm feeling positive for them. I feel like it's obviously getting more than one round. That's the target right now. that should be possible. I'm going to check my Twitter right now for any questions coming in, and we'll
I'm
see.
not seeing any other than just Juliana wrecking me.
My favorite animal is a raccoon dog. And that's the picture.
Paula's can't believe we're still. I thought you guys left. Apparently not. They're waiting.
I think
for
I've got
the,
some questions
shuttle.
coming.
A raccoon dog. That is not even. That's not just a raccoon.
What is Sadikis matchmaking rank?
I don't have one.
There you go. Answered. Where do you think do you think Renegades will be able to qualify for the majors this time?
What group are they in? Can you bring me up their group again?
I don't think that's been released. Maybe it's on HLTV.
No, it is.
The official photos.
The groups are out now.
Okay. Well, I didn't.
The only thing that this mouse doesn't work very well, does it? Can you type that in for? Oh no, it is here. I got it. ESL announced Cologne qualifier dates. Oh no, you're right. It's not groups yet. Yeah, okay. I thought it was organized in groups. It depends highly on their group. If they get into a group with, say, someone like Splice, who I don't expect to requalify. Or who else would not requalify out of that? Maybe Flipside after seeing how shaky. Although they did put up a good game today.
I'd say Flipside is probably, after being, I think, at every single major so far, this is probably the first time they possibly won't make it. Considering they struggled against NIP at the major, who are having threat playing for them as well. They went to overtime, but still, that's a game they should be winning, right? That's a week in NIP. Obviously, they have been great recently, but still.
We've got some highlights from yesterday, so we can look back on this. That was when SK got knocked out of the tournament early and worst players who don't play today. They had the day off. They'll play tomorrow. I think the lower bracket tomorrow, by the way, has to play like 3 times in a row or something. Or Navi said that if they win out, they have to play like 3 games tomorrow. But anyway, we can look back at those. But so it depends on the group. I think Splice is the most likely not to requalify.
They're asking me.
And yeah, if they get into that group, that's going to be the group to be in.
How does Sadicus smell? Just like everyone else with his nose. So don't worry about that. It's all normal here.
Dad jokes are real.
He looks weird, but it's just normal. Do you think the death cam should disappear?
Yes.
I don't think it should be instant. It should be like it was back when I used to play. It was like a 2-second thing, right? You could see the next 2 seconds, and then it was into a complete fade to black. You couldn't see a single thing. I think obviously it's the death cam in that sense. Like you could just have it instantly go to your teammates, but that's a very jarring thing to happen. If you die and it instantly flicks on your teammates, you're just like, whoa, what the hell just happened there? I think like a nice little 2-second fade is more than fine. I think right now it's like 6 seconds. I feel like that's a little bit too much. I think it slows down the pace in those clutch situations. You get too much information for your teammates, and it does affect this really smart players coming in. If you really could read the situation, take a kill down, and try and outplay someone, especially if you're up against it versus multiple players, that could be something that hinders the game a little bit. I feel like it's one thing that should be addressed and looked at, especially for the majors. If Valve made an official stance in it and said, right, this is what we're doing, obviously affect the tournaments going forward. Another interesting topic that came up to Reddit today, Matt, something I've been kind of calling for a while, is being able to see your own shadows in CSGO. I feel like that's something that has to come in right now.
Yes.
It's one of the things that can give away your position and show you what you're actually doing. And people walking around corners, you're holding tight angles.
Do you know in that show match when Semler tried to knife me, the reason I knew he was there is because I saw his shadow?
Exactly, right? And this is the thing, especially for newer players coming to the game, they can't really understand, is this guy cheating? How does he know I'm coming around the corner at a specific time? It's because in the engine right now, it's been the case since the original Source engine. You can see the shadows of other players, but never your own. And I was actually one of the original players that went out to play CSGO back in 2011. I was the first ever group of players to actually play. There was 10 of us, and we all went out there. And it was one of the things I said to them. They asked us for our notes and our thoughts at the end of the section after we'd been there for like maybe 10 days or so. And it's like, okay, well, what were your overall thoughts? And for me, it was actually just saying to them, like, shadows for me in Source has always been a massive problem. Like, it's such a massive part of the game. You should be able to see where you're going and where your opponents have, what info they have. And that's one thing for me. With a number of things we had about CSGO back then. When it first came out, it was a pretty shocking game, but I'm glad where it is right now, Matt. It's getting pretty well-rounded.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still think there's some disadvantages in the shadow.
You should have seen that game back in 2011. That would been the last on your list, to be fair. We've got questions coming in from a young lad called Halvor G. He asks,
Someone asked me.
If you had to choose between a life with Morrissey or Matt, what would you pick?
Don't let me down.
Well, to be fair, people always tell you never to meet your heroes, right?
But you already met me.
Oh, there it is. You said the dad jokes are real, but you're coming in with them. I think Morrissey, he'd be a very difficult character to actually get on with. I don't think he actually likes people in general. He's very much like me in that sense, and I feel like he'd probably get sick of me after about 5 minutes. I think I'd have to stay with my current lover. Although he is my idol, I would have to just meet Morrissey and say, you know what, it's not happening. I'm staying with Matt.
On that note, production is ordering that we go to a break.
Well, someone getting started.
I know, we were just getting started. Someone asked me how much I can bench press, just the bar.
Well, 20 kg.
Something like that. Yeah. Usually it's a hollowed out aluminum bar, so maybe about 10. but that's all right. We'll fix that when I go on my break. That's one of the goals. We're going to go to a break. Speaking of break, we'll be back when the technical issues have been resolved and when Halvor G stops tweeting us. See you soon.
The chains were too hard to bear. I believe there's a place where I belong, and you do too. It's not far away. If only it were true. I believe that the waves won't take me down when I'm not alone. I cannot come back this time. I'm not coming now that I've been long gone? Have you missed me at all? The road home shatters and I feel the pressure of direction taking over me. If I'm moving through space in an endless night, it's you that set me free. I believe there's a place where I belong, and you do too. It's not far away. If only it were true. I believe that the waves won't take me down when I'm not alone. I cannot come back this time.
Hello?
Well, guys, we are immediately into it. CSGO Lounge have taken the pistol round on the CT side. GODSENT down 1-0 already. And remember, they only got 1 round in the last map on Train. It is DE Cash. Cash money. Cash located here in the Ukraine, actually.
I think that's correct.
It's near Pripyat.
We missed the pistol, but it looked pretty convincing for CSGO Lounge. Like you said, first map was 16-1 in favor of the Poles, and this is their pick as well. So they're going to be looking for blood here on the second as well. It's not like GODSENT picked this one. Actually, these are 61 on their own pick. This is actually a pretty interesting affair. We're going into the second round, though. And, of course, here's the player cams. Back into it. It's going to be the MP9s. Heavy bite for the CTs when he's picking that first kill. Looking for the second. It does some damage, but can't find the kill just yet. It's looking to stay alive at this point. Deny the plan. And it's going to be Schneider coming in. That kill with the Tech 9, but still a lot of work to do here for the terrorists.
Yeah, lots of work indeed. So there is Forklift with Roof. Spiro gets the nade in, takes down Twist. Schneider's going to take him back immediately, though, but Mauzino coming in with another. This is looking all right still, though, for GODSENT. If he can stay alive, he can find this kill when he backs up too far. If he could have isolated that down and drawn out a little bit more time, but there's kits on both. Not really much of a chance given the position. It does go 2-0, but 3 kills and a bomb plant. Not the worst round in the world.
Well, they get the plan down and manage to get 3 kills, so yeah, not bad at all. They're going to be going into the next round. They probably won't be buying, but will be setting themselves up at the third. Oh, okay, they've actually gone for it. Okay, so 3 AKs, a couple of Tech 9s here. This is it's definitely a little bit high risk, but it does work, and considering they did so much damage to the money of the CTs. The problem is, though, Maniz with that AWP is going to be having a huge advantage going forward. It's normally Spiro on the AWP, of course, but he's opted for the UMP. We'll see how this works out for him. Decent nade comes in, actually does a ton of damage towards Pronax. Twist boosts it up now. I assume this 2-man boost is just going to be looking for the picks here. I'm not sure the AWP has made its presence known just yet, so they'll just be edging out, trying to find that first pick, taking advantage of the AK-47s they have. And here comes the first bit of confrontation. There it is. Innocent gets his head ripped off there towards Highway, but a quick reply from Mihu keeps the CTs invested into this round.
It's Pronax. That's Squeaky. Ooh, Dink and another shot into Mihu. He's going to have to go passive on this, but as they walk in, Pauf chose to chase it. Mauzino was waiting inside of the fence. We've got a pause coming in.
I guess the technical issue maybe not resolved just yet.
Well, Henry, the good news is we can resume what really matters in life.
The Raccoon Show.
Is that what we're calling it?
Probably need it better now. It's a work in progress.
Please, kickstart us, and we'll make it a real deal.
That's what we can do a Kickstarter for.
We should do a Kickstarter for that. Lekro, you're going to get 1 kill. Bring this back to a 3 versus 3 on this early buy. Good shot as well as he takes down Mihu. This is the Lekro I want to see. And a jump up on top of the forklift is going to catch off Mauzino. He's going to go underneath this. He won't be spotted up right away, but he won't find the information. Leave himself in an open position. Does get him behind the red crate, though. Leaves him alive a little bit longer as they get the kill on the site. Still, though, watch quad. Schneider picks up 1. Lekro shuffling out. Spiro knows he's here, though, now. He's going to look. He's going to spot his head up. Lekro can't pick this. He refaces it. He's low. He's going to get taken down. And Spiro's going to have this round.
I guess the problem is there for Lekro. He had no vision on the bomb. It's not default position. He's towards heaven. And he needed to go for the face there. As soon as a full defuse comes in and it's actually the round over, he wouldn't have had enough time to actually run over there. Could have jumped up on the bomb side, I guess, and actually had that option, but still, he decided to go for the former. Gets taken down. It's going to be 3-0. They're going to plan down once again, but presumably just be on a partial by next round. Decent attempt there. They actually opened things up with that kill towards Highway, and the split came in, but Mihu finding frags and is delaying them. It is going to be a technical pause now, Matt. Just in case we hadn't had enough of those today, we are just going to be slowing it down a little bit more. And we still up the engine again for the drive time show.
Sleep, marry, chill. Ariana Grande, Megan Fox, Selena Gomez. I'm going to kill them all and chill with Henry G.
You don't have to kill them. I don't think that was one of the questions.
I'm used to that being the other form of the question.
Don't kill them.
Sleep, marry. I'll chill with all 3 and Henry G then. You're right. That kill wasn't an option this time. Usually
That's
it's
an
the
insight.
kill.
It's a little bit
usually
of a Freudian
it's the kill,
slip there,
sleep
I think.
with.
Insight to the mind of Sadicus.
I'm a gruesome, grotesque man. What can I say?
Well, we'll have to get back to Twitter then. We did have plenty of questions coming in there, so I'm going to go resorting back to Old Faithful. Ask Henry. Do you and Matt and Sadicus hang out, talk to each other, even out from esports? There is no outside of esports because that's all we actually do since January. So to be fair, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I literally
have no life.
Wouldn't be able to tell you. There's not been an occasion where we're not together at an event. So who knows?
I haven't even seen my dog. I haven't mountain biked. I haven't even driven a car, and that's like embedded into my live stream from growing up. Like, we literally have no life, Henry.
Yeah, literally, I'd like to tell you what I do outside of esports, but maybe
We don't.
I have one day traveling, and I go back to my hotel, my house, and I do the washing. I say that my mother does the washing, and then I drive back to my house in London where I actually live, and then I prepare myself the next day, the next flight, and there is no life in between. Maybe I'll see a friend for a couple of hours. That's about it. There's no real downtime. Hopefully, though, in June, as Matt announced so eloquently on Twitter, we are going to be taking some downtime. It's not going to be as intense as he maybe suggested. It's just going to be, we'll just be doing the big events in June. We've realised we're actually killing ourselves right now. We have been officially esports. If you look how good looking we were a year ago and what we look like now, I think we obviously need some downtime. So we're going to be doing that and hopefully recharging our batteries and coming back even stronger for the really big events that are coming up in June, or the end of June and July, and hopefully looking a lot better for you as well. We're going to be...
Would you
go on.
rather fight 10,000 rhinos the size of ducks or one duck the size of a rhino?
How many were there in the first one?
10,000.
Obviously, going through
Take the
10,000 anyway,
That's
I'd rather
the thing.
just
One's
take on
gonna
one
wear
and
down your
choke him out.
stamina.
As soon as you get on the duck's back, what's he going to do? That's all you got to
true.
do. Just mount him,
That's
get
true.
around the neck, sleeper hold. He's going
I
down.
think
He's
they're
going
even,
to sleep.
At this point, sending home
He's
the
going to sleep.
They're even not caring about the teams anymore. They're sending home the Umbrella Girls. I'm going to miss them. But yeah, I mean, it's true because like the duck could swallow you at that size because he can open his mouth.
It's a
you
risk.
Know, if you
though.
go for
Like,
proportions,
you're never
going to
have to stand
wide
and take
enough.
on 10,000. That's insane. That's too much. This is not even realistic. Like you'd have to like take some time to destroy. The thing is, the rhinos, right? They got little horns, so they can still charge you. They'll be just wrecking your ankles. One hit from that, you'd get you going down as well. So I think we cleared that up. Quick question, since you're busy waiting. Oh, that's actually.
It would be Final Fantasy turn-based, like
That's
fighting a
gonna be
chocobo.
Sponge sends
Can
a
I want to
question.
go? Like
This is one for you, Matt.
Sponge. Oh, hi, Sponge.
How much
I like
wood
that
would a
guy.
woodchuck chuck?
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck would chuck about 10 quarts.
That's a good one for you, seeing as you're Canadian in that. Is that where they come from, woodchucks? Seems about
No,
right.
they're just
Lumberjacks, that's what they... That's what you dress up as. I thought that's what it came from.
He's a lumberjack.
See, there you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you see
But if
Taz's
Peter,
post?
I got one for Sponge. If Peter Pepper could pick up peppers, oh, I messed that up already.
Yeah,
if Peter
nice.
Pepper could pick up peppers, I can't do that one anymore. I can't. The one that I never can do, even at a slow pace, is Unique New York.
I don't even know
Unique
what that
New
one
York.
is.
Unique New York.
I can
can't
hear
do
smokes
it.
being deployed and vents being broken.
And Lord looking intensely at Mihu's monitor. So we are back in the game. Now Zeno again up to middle, sees through those new vents. Clear vision, good shot on Twist as well as he'll fall away. It's going to make it down to a 3 versus 3 as Malzino sits on just 6 HP. That girl's going to walk out this door, though. Smoke off. They have no idea Moniz is here. Easy pickings for him. Knows one's over toward the forklift as well. That's going to drop bomb against Pronax, and it's another round going the way of CSGO Lounge.
Yeah, another promising start from what I can tell. It looked like the opening pit when he came into that one. And it was Moniz coming in and taking them down. But still Palf making a case for them in this round, but not meant to be. Malzino does finish things off there. It was a 2 versus 1 in the end.
Pick 5 players for your dream teams.
Oh, that's something I can't really do off the spot. I'd have to actually
Aegis.
come okay.
Lekro.
Buzzer.
Oscar.
Buzzer.
No buzzer.
No buzzer.
Who else? Mihu and in-game leader. Assuming they can all speak English. In-game leader. Dazed.
Maybe I'll do that on Twitter tomorrow. I'll post who
But if Dazed doesn't count because of bans, then I'll take Pronex.
Anyway.
Or Fallen. I suppose I need an upper. Fallen. No, I have Oscar. Pronex.
Right. really well run, well thought team there, I think. But anyway, 4-0 in favour of Dobry&Gaming, which stands for good. So obviously means good in gaming, which is obviously a little famous saying I was mentioning here on the desk. So that's why they use that. But it's going to be them finding the first kill here. Desert Eagles and a bit of body armour, a little bit of an investment here. It's going to be Schneider finding 1 kill, but he will be quickly taken down by Moniz. He seems to be having a great game here. Very crisp shots coming in with that silenced M4. And now it's Palf holding towards the mid-warehouse. He does take down Moniz and surely going to be taken down. There it is. Does a headshot towards Spiro, but unfortunately cannot find the kill. We'll be 5-0 here. If you're just joining us, where have you been? You've missed a great radio show. It's been very interesting. Been actually interesting, I would say. But it's going to be the first map going in favour of Dobry&Gaming, Ex-CSGL Lounge. They won 16-1. That was GODSENT's pick. And it's the second map now, and it looks like it may be a very similar affair. It's currently 5-0. Still very early days. I don't want to speculate too much. Obviously can bounce back from these sort of scorelines, not a problem. On the side of Cash. Oh, a lot of damage there. Some early spam from the terrorists through that mid-warehouse. And they're going to be finding a little headshot with the AK. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but takes Spiro down to about half. No AWP on the CTs at this round. This being straight up rifles here with the AKs they saved. M4s, of course. And this is more of a default mentality here from GODSENT. Sorry, I kind of couldn't speak to some. But there it is. The first kill coming in from Mihu. He takes on Pronax, and he's dropped the bomb there. So he may be the tactical mastermind right now, but that's a very difficult situation for him. Giving away the bomb, and with no smoke going down, he's walking into the site right now. This is not traditional, I have to say.
Not even close.
Just walking into the site, edging in, and they are going to find a kill for the door, though. That suddenly boosts their chances.
That does, but look. Oh, okay, all right. I was going to say, look at Spiro's flank coming in, but Schneider snapping back to win that exchange is now going to allow the bomb to get in position. Schneider very low. No Molotov off to hold him out of this. Now, interestingly, they put a late Molotov toward the forklift. It will limit the entry point from Innocent, but I'm not sure that maybe they thought there was an advancement already toward that position. Usually you'd save that a little bit longer,
Surely
but pow.
There it is.
Shot in the back. This should be around for GODSENT. Already is. Malzino's committing to the save. He's out. Where is he? Still has a kit. He may just try and pick up one more and then get away. He's got no entry.
Well, GODSENT, like I said, an interesting approach to the round, just walking away into a site. A couple of confrontations there. It was quite equal until that kill through the door. And maybe that was sent from God himself, getting them into this round. It's going to be 5-1. Round number 6 goes in the Swedes' favour. They do keep 3 players alive as well. That's probably what Malzino was looking for. If he could have found a couple of kills. It's Pronax once again. Not finding a frag in the early stages here. After 6 rounds, he did the same thing on train, I believe. It took him about 8 to actually get into it. And now we're going to round number 7. The money's actually fantastic for CTs, you know. After winning 5 in a row, goes to show the rounds have been reasonably close. They'll have 2 M4s here, and making 3 now, a Max 7, and there's a 4th. So it's actually okay in the end. It's just that one Max 7. They are struggling a little bit with the kits, just one of those. No also the terrorists just yet. We go into round number 7 and see what they can do here. Bombed up for now, and it's aggressive play from Mouse. He's looking for this first pick here, looking confident towards the sunroom. He will just be holding up. Once he gets that position, it's similar to what we talked about on train. When you get that upper position with the AWP, you can just call him for your teammates to completely fall back. And he has full control of that situation now. Rotating over towards quad, there is a smoke down towards the A main entrance.
Who's going to face? Oh, he spots him. Just barely gets away from that as he jumps into the corner at lockers. He's going to jump up on top of the red crate as well. Door open. He is slightly exposed. Gets far enough now that the door will cover him off, but Twist doesn't really care where he's standing as long as he hits the headshot, which he does with the AK. Remember, it's a Mag 7 for Spiro. Innocent's going to try and get a lot closer inside of this site. They're going to bring that shotgun in toward the red crate as well and hope that when they wrap around to go for the bomb plant, he's the one that can deny it. But they're going to go above him. He still finds the kill. He looks upward, and it's Innocent now that's going to chase them back in toward A main, but good pick from Schneider as he gets up middle. This will open up options for the bomb to go to B.
Yeah, quite a brawl this round, I have to say. But it's going to be Schneider in a great position here. Behind both of the CTs, it looks like his teammates will be heading towards B, so he's going to be the bodyguard right now, making sure the CTs can't rotate. But they'll be opting to push through the middle here. There's a decent smoke down for Schneider here. Surely going to find this frag. And at this point, yeah, it's good play from him. Doesn't even need to commit to that kill. He'll just try and stay alive and delay that CT. It's going to be Innocent, though, in towards the B storage area. He does find a kill. And Spiro knows where he is, but will Schneider risk giving this kill away for free? He's just trying to delay it as long as he possibly can, and actually gets the kill in the end as well. Palf joining in, taking out Innocent. That's going to be 2 in a row for GODSENT now. That should break the economy of Dobry&Gaming now as well. So GODSENT finally arriving. That's double the amount of rounds they got on train. So a good start here, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, this is doubling their success of the last map.
That's what I just said.
For GODSENT. I know. The GODSENT gloves look really cool, by the way. I think those ones might be my favorite.
Orange and black always works.
Yeah, warm colors in black, typically. Blue and black's pretty cool, too, though. I used to think blue and black was a cool ninja color. Twist doesn't really care about colors. He cares about flashbangs. The only color he's going to give them is white, but they're both inside of that smoke. They're masked. Look at Innocent. He's just going to sit there. Oh, they did figure it out. They did find out that he was there. They sprayed into it. They got the kill. Palf's going to take down Malzino, and now they're looking at another and a third round for GODSENT. Just keeps getting better and better.
3 in a row for GODSENT, but now it's going to be Spiro back on the AWP. He's been a formidable character throughout this tournament. We'll see whether he can step up right now. First time he's at the AWP, I think, actually, in this second map, and now GODSENT really are arriving in the series. Still 2 rounds behind the Polish side, but it's a chance for them to really dig their heels in now as we go into round number 9. It's not a fantastic buy for the CTs by any stretch of the imagination. We'll see whether they can find a pick here. 2 players towards A, 1 towards B. I can't tell you who it is because I don't have the mini-map near me. We're actually casting quite an abstract setup here. And here it is. I think there's Mouse towards Kentucky tucking into the corner, and it's going to be Palf to find the first kill there. And this one coming in from the vents. There it is. Spirit does find the first kill towards Lecro there. Now the retake is on. The bomb should be easily planted there. And Schneider finds a kill on towards Innocent.
Miyu from heaven can't do anything to deny this plant. Spiro with the AWP going to head out towards 3, but interestingly, they're already looking to save this. Miyu's going to get a kill, bring it back to 3 versus 3. Long rotation over toward A. They're actually committing to this save very early, all things considered.
Yeah, well, it's a very difficult situation. They haven't got a kit available. They have got the AWP and glass cannon as well. Terrorists, when they have the crossfire with the bomb down towards the B site, it's a very difficult prospect that CT's getting, especially when they're lacking utility. And Inksy Pronax, he's still without a kill. I think that's what we're pointing out right now. It doesn't really matter, though. They're winning 4 rounds in a row. It's him at the reins as well, so...
He is Santa Claus.
Yeah, so it's fine. 5-4 now. 4 in a row for GODSENT, and losing the Piston going 5-0 down, that's a decent result. Are we being shown an Easter egg right now? Is that what we're looking at? Spot the Easter egg map. There's a little house there in the corner.
Was there one?
Well, no, so I've never noticed that house on the hill.
I don't think it's an Easter egg, though. It's probably always there.
Oh, of course. I'm just saying I've never noticed that.
Because normally they show us the Star Ladder stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying I've never really looked.
There is one on the dumpster here. There is... That's it, I guess. What else in this map? Oh, the starladder.com inside of CT spawn.
Yeah. Well then, after the saved weapons, the CTs have reinvested into this round. 5 rifles still, and then of course... And there it is, Spear again, that first pick. He takes down Palf this time. Let's look a faster air attack here towards the squeaky door. Bear's coming out, but there's a boost from Maniz. Needs to be spraying them down. Finds 2 kills there. And gets a 3rd as well. Lovely stuff from him, that boost. Chucks in every now and then, can be very powerful indeed. And this time it does capitalise for him. 5-4 will be quickly going to 6-4 here. We just have 1 player remaining. It's going to be Schneider. He's holding towards middle. And here's the replay for you while that round finishes up. Good stuff from him. You can tell, like I said, it's just one of the positions if you time it right and have your teammates bring enough distraction, and be very beneficial. Don't normally see the M4A4 up there, I have to say. It's normally the Silence players that will take that position, but you know what? You got the results. Doesn't matter. 6-4 mats. After losing 4 in a row.
Yeah,
they do bounce back.
That's the thing. 4 in a row. It's a reset potential for them. They have bought into this, so guns have been picked up, but Cisco Lounge on a must-win situation. Remember, this map has become increasingly T-sided.
Sure.
Pronax going to look toward that A main position. Default smoke out on top of it. Maniz bouncing the nade in. It's going to do a little bit of damage on the twist, down to 91, but nothing significant.
5-5 still. Terrorist fully committing to the A-side on the map. It normally means they have to move quite quickly here. Obviously, CTs have the option to going aggressive towards B storage at the start and gaining information. The Terrorists have no clue on that right now. You can see them adjusting themselves a little bit, maybe thinking that may be a possibility, going back towards that connector area on the T side and seeing if there is anything available there. We did see Chinese before did get into that sunroom, so they need to be very careful now. Obviously, there's no CTs pushing, so it's fine for now. They can turn it into more of a default play. Maybe they just weren't going for the set piece at the start there. Door has been opened. And he's locking down, flashbang off towards the fan area, just to spot towards the main entrance. CT smoking it off there. That'll delay the Terrorists as we hit the 50-second mark.
Mihu inside of the site, staring down that open doorway. Can't see through it, obviously, but he is just waiting, not toward fence, not toward quad, but in an open position. Micro's going to try and flash out. A smoke's going to obscure that position, and Maniz is going to take up a secondary position behind the forklift that will complement his teammates. But that doesn't work because Lecro's going to kill him. Makes it all too easy. Counts as a wall bang through the edge of the doorway, but pretty much straight vision. Good pickup from Mihu twice now as he gets Lecro as well, and Twist falling. It's starting to look awkward. Spiro inside of the site. Zeno gets back into Pronax, but it's Palf with 2 very quickly. Unfortunately, that's gone away, and at 7 seconds, bomb's not going to be planted. This is over.
It is indeed. It was a decent attempt from Palf to rectify that round and try and get his team back into it, find the double kill there, but just didn't have the time to work with that. So Schneider will be trying to save the AWP, which he does. And the money is there available as well. He could drop an AK if required. Obviously, this money system is delayed on our stream, so we don't really get the actual real-time money in this. So there it is. It's being adjusted now. So he has dropped a weapon. And the buy's not too bad here. It's just going to be Lecro, who's on the Deagle. three of his teammates on the AKs, and of course Schneider with the AWP. As we were saying, it's kind of interesting why Twist doesn't have the AWP, and it's going to be Spiro capitalizing once again. Lovely headshot there. Fast face towards that B storage area. The one-on-one duel comes in. CT's actually win the round now, so it's going to be Spiro going in for more here. I'm not sure I agree with this. That's crazy just running for the smoke like that, but he does manage to find the kill. You know what? It's Twist this time, and he's going for the third. Great stuff from Spiro. Finds a kill on towards Palf as well, and that's round over. Very aggressive, and he's still hungry for more. He hits the fourth map. What can you say about this one?
Impressive form Spiro's on right now as it's Pronax to grab the bomb. Spiro's looking for the ace, and he's got it.
Some people in the room are enjoying it. A lot of shouting coming over the production area.
Yeah. I want to go hang out with them.
That was kind of sick.
That was pretty sick, especially when Pronax hears him coming in the last shot, and he's just like, don't really care.
Yeah, like I said, that's not advised play. When you get the first pick on the CT side, you normally just like, you're not going to be running through the smoke and all trying to give him the kill back. But he's so confident. Like I said, he's been very impressive this entire tournament, I have to say. And that was testament to that round. Just showing to you guys that, you know what, I'm not scared of you. Even though I'm going to give you the advantage of push for a smoke with an AWP, I'll still kill every single member of your team. It's no problem for me. Number 13 comes in. It's just going to be pistols for GODSENT, and this is looking pretty bleak now after that round. That's going to be pretty depressing for them. They'll be rushing towards B, but Zeno, as I say, gets a double kill, but actually it's going to be equal exchanges so far. GODSENT finding 2 kills with the Desert Eagles, and now going to have some control of the bomb side as well. They've got a bit of utility to actually lock out the CTs for now. They'll be trying to rotate in through the vent area. There's still a chance for the Swedes to win this round.
Spiro's looking inside of the site with the AWP. Not the Molotov, that was unintentional, I do believe. Looked like it was supposed to go to the back of the site to flush them out. Maniz inside, ooh, poor timing, inside of the vents. Thankfully, it was just Pronax speaking in with the pistol. Had the nade drawn. He's going to have to go in at some point in time. He's very low on HP. He does get by on the reload. That's going to give Miyu an entrance as well, and Spiro's going to find Twist with the AWP. It's down to just Pronax. That P250 in hand. They're already on the defuse, and the round is already done.
Yeah, like I said, there was a chance of the terrorists doing something with that. They get the equal exchange. They have the utility to hold up the CTs for the retake as well. Been able to find a single kill once they got the bomb down there. Spiro's is a nice little replay. Sensational frags in the previous round, just completely humiliating the Swedes as he just pushed forward one by one, wrecking them. Just devouring every single player.
Boom, baby.
Yeah. Very impressive stuff from him. It's going to be 9-4 now. Terrorists to get the bomb down on that light investment, so they will have enough to buy here. 5 AKs once again. They've got a full set of utility as well. No real set pieces we've seen from them so far. There's more default play. I have to say the tactical play on train was very limited, and it's more of this similar case here. I haven't seen anything that's impressed me too much. No real fakes coming in, no fast play towards middle. Just trying to work picks, and can't argue with that one. It's like Rideau take down Innocent to open things up here. He has been headshot though for his troubles. But they have got the man advantage and time to play with it. Smokes towards middle, so that's going to take away vision from the CTs. Allows them to set up to a B split if they wanted to, but looks like they'll be focused towards the A side on that one.
Pop flash out from Schneider. Oh, misthrown. That doesn't help. Doesn't go over top of Red Crate. Won't catch Maniz. He'll have full vision and a pop flash going the other direction. Well timed out bomb. Dropped Maniz. He had Schneider inside of the doorway as well. It's just Lekro and Palf remaining. Lekro has found 1 kill. He is spraying forward and nearly finds another as well. Miyu's going to get back into both, though. And Maniz, actually, I take that back. He only gets the first. Maniz is there for the second. Either way, a good turnaround because that could have got awkward.
Yeah, it seems the rounds seem to fall apart just when it gets interesting for GODSENT. They're able to keep up in terms of the initial exchanges, but here we go. Very nice play here from the CTs. Maniz getting flashed in, pushing through the smoke and finding 3 kills. He's been another great player for Dobry&Gaming. It's going to be 10-4 now. We're going to the final round of the first half. It's GODSENT once again with the 5 AKs. Loss bonus accumulating for them. And that Incendio will stop any fast play from the terrorists. They'll be going to yet another default, I should say. Sending 2 players towards Squeaky Door as well. So they have been able to find a couple of hicks. But Michu just using that forklift now. His defense there's a lot of damage done for the door to 2 terrorist players there. That'll be Schneider and Lekro taking a ton of damage, both towards that Squeaky Door, so they'll be falling back, defeated, and making their way back towards middle. Maybe they'll just go for those critical smokes once again, but the CT's pushing in aggressive towards A main. Looking for this information. That's Mihu. And that's a ton of intel gathered, so now it's up to Innocent. He's going to be challenged. This goes to be very important for the terrorists. Orb poised and ready towards Checkers, looking towards that B storage area. Innocent now getting confronted.
Good pick up from Innocent onto Twist. Such low HP onto both Lekro, Schneider, and oh, it's worse off. They pick up 2 quick kills. As Spiro takes down Pal with all the high HP's gone. It's just Schneider now remaining, and it's going to go 11-4 at half. This looked far closer at one point. It was 6-4. GODSENT with 4 straight rounds, and then can't come up with anything after. It's still an improvement over Train, no less, but Goal Lounge is looking solid.
That's quite a depressing thing to say.
Statement.
After losing 11-4 in the first half, you go, well, at least it's better than the last map. Yeah, that's very true, but not something I'd be looking at as a positive note. This is not their pick. The terrorist side are just relying on their individual, or their star players to actually step up there and just find some crazy shots and their defaults. And they found a pick. They tried to capitalize, but most of the rounds on the retakes when CT's working out for them. And you can see they're a very well-oiled machine, Dobry&Gaming. They've been working very hard. You can see that just by watching them play. It's a good teamwork and great team chemistry, I have to say. We're going to the second half here. Dobry now. They'll be doing something a little bit more tactical here. They've got 2 smokes, 3 sets of armor, 1 raid boss as well. This is a very thought-through tactic. This is what they normally run. We'll see what they decide to do here. All players committed to the A side of the map. I'd assume there'll be a smoke towards Quadrant Highway. Push through, maybe a smoke towards the backside of the site just to kind of segregate the whole of that area. Here come the smokes now. Lekro's surely going to lose his vision momentarily. He's just in front of the smoke, perhaps. Flashbang comes in there. That's going to take him out of that situation.
Trying to find the pistol shot to Spiro, can't do it, and this opens up well. Oh, decent damage to Schneider as well back at Truck. He goes down to 3. Another bomb plant going to come in, and Go Lounge could be in a position to wrap this up quite quickly. We won't call it done just yet. They'll get potentially 3 rounds out of this. If that's the case, it'll put them on to 14 total, but that's still not the finish line. 16 is where it ends. Seems like a redundancy, but teams need to remember that these days. We've seen stranger things. Innocent's going to pick up Pronax. That'll add to the task of closing out this round. They're going to charge it, though. Pauf gets one onto Spiro, but he's there to shut it down, and this is going to be done and dusted. Pauf shot in a crossfire of 3 players in the end, shooting at him.
I like the idea they've got behind that one. Instead of using, they had 2 smokes there, right? Instead of using both of them at the same time, like locking off towards Highway and the back of the side position, as I speculated before, they do that back of the side smoke, and they're willing to challenge a forklift at that point. And most teams will play a retake these days on the pistol, the CT pistol, and they actually were aware of that, take over that, find that initial kill. That first smoke drops. That denies any CTs pushing into the site, right? They're normally having to wait for that on the retake setup. They drop the second smoke in the exactly same positions. When the CTs are up against them, the pressure is being applied. They have to push through that smoke once again, and it's such an unfavorable situation for them. They have to push through the smoke and try to find the quick kills, or they have to go all the way around the site into the crossfires as terrorists. So that's a really cool little trick they've got there, and I'm quite impressed by it. But there we go. We go into the second round here. GODSENT do find the first pick. They take down Innocent there with the pistol, and they're looking to get a second here with the CZ. A bit of damage towards Miniz, but he manages to stay alive. Spiro on the other side of the map gets Lekro. And that does stabilize things at the terrorist at this point. It's good to see where the reaction comes in from this counter-terrorist. They have fully invested into this run, of course. Can't really allow many more rounds to slip here. Need a bit of luck working in their favor. They did get the first pick, but like I said, back to a 4-on-4 now.
Pauf's going to do what he can with this Deagle. Smoke out to delay further. Molotov underneath of the vents, though, as they want to flush out that position and potentially split from mid into B. Schneider, though, good peek. Sees at 75, is able to take down Spear. He can fall away back to the site. They've got the advantage, and it's 16 HP only left on Miniz. They can't afford to commit fully onto this B site. Instead, they're going to now rely on the probing that's going on over toward A in the hands of Mihu. And even still, he's not got an opening. Schneider's brought that CZ back as well, and he's going to be supported from Twist. They're going to peek together. It does go for the trade. Twist has to get away from this, though. Low HP, but he can't find the shot with the Deagle. Miniz with the back 10 will pull it off. Down to the 2 versus 2 in the AK from a distance. Is going to take Pauf. A smoke off will buy a little bit of space, but not going to cut off the back of the site. That allows Pronax in toward the bomb, but no kit, remember. And he's got 2 to find, both low enough that it is possible with the CZ. He's going to face this, but Miniz holding it perfectly.
Yeah, good attempt there by the CTs. Like I said, forced brought into that round, had to try and make it work there in the 2-on-1 situation. But unfortunately, once again, good teamwork. That's been a headline for these guys throughout this tournament, working off each other, looking like they're very comfortable with their setups, and especially in those clutch situations as well. It takes a lot of time as a team to actually get that kind of on-the-fly synergy working, and they're running perfectly here. It's going to be a full eco for GODSENT now. USPs, 1 Deagle, and you feel like this one's coming to an end. This will not be going in GODSENT's favour after losing the first map 16-1 no less. It will be going to 14-4 here. They've got a massive mission to do. The first kill does go in favour of Spiro. There was a chance there. They do a lot of damage towards him, but That was the player with the upgraded pistol now. We'll be pushing him towards B storage, trying to hunt for a kill. And it's going to be surely going in their favour. Looks like it will. But it's going to be the terrorist capitalising here. Just one player remaining. And there is a team kill in the end. But the dead bodies on the floor says it all. Laughs coming, of course, from the other side of the room. I think they were enjoying the bodies on the floor. And who doesn't enjoy dead bodies, Matt? That sounded weird. That sounds really strange. I retract that statement and instantly regret
It's too late. It's immortalized on the internet forever.
I was trying to just be irreverent, but came out as
Didn't
really
work,
slightly twisted. Anyway.
Mihu pushing into A-main. No flash to get him in. It's Lekro that pushes back, though. He's going to drop down, and it's now a 3 plays onto 2. Mihu's gone low. Such a fast exchange. A minute and 30 still left in this round. There's only 5 players left alive across the board. As Palf's forced back into the site by not only a smoke, but a flashbang that's going to allow Spiro to walk out from the vents. He's going to have to cover this off solo. The rotation's a little bit late right now from Palf. Or rather, excuse me, from Schneider, but good pickup on the first. Has the pre-aim toward that headshot position. Sneaks out, catches Mihu. Drops the bomb as well in the small pit. Schneider just needs to hold this. Just needs to have the information. He's going to try and push through the smoke and catch it, but thinks better of his decision. And that bomb plant is not in just yet. There's still a minute to work with. This is a mind game now.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the 1v1 camera coming in. I did see Spiro had a full set of utility to work with as well, so he'll just be hoping that Schneider here starts second-guessing himself, but here he goes. The play comes in. GODSENT do manage to avoid series point here. Fist bumps coming in. They're still believing that. They're not out of this just yet. At least not mentally.
Concrete jungle.
Why did that get me?
I don't even know why that got you.
Concrete jungle.
Pro Nets.
Yeah.
Schneider, though, is going to lead the charge with Palf over and Lekro over toward B. Boost up toward the vents as well. This time as Schneider's inside of middle, they'll be able to play off of each other in this position. But right now it's looking like a default set toward A. 2 Tech-9s brought up, so money's low. Don't win this one, and CSGO Lounge will have to give up another potentially afterwards. We could go to 14-7. And then they kind of play that extended game of just trying to find 2 rounds. Good smokes out, and oh, what a catch by Maniz to catch Twist on the way through. This starts off well as he's late in position. Those smokes came out after Twist had already entered through the doorway, so he had really deep positioning they would have expected in that position. Boost goes up behind quad. Well found as they get Pronax on the ladder.
This will be a hard reset as well. The CT can't afford to drop this round. I don't think they have much of a choice. There's going to be a 4-on-2. We have got Schneider and Palf on the retake, but they are just getting swarmed here. Innocent with the Tech-9. Takes down Palf, and now it's up to Schneider. Is there anything he can do about this? No, there is not. More aggressive play there. That's $1,400 going to the bank account of the CTs. They should be done and dusted here. You can see they've got absolutely no money here. It's going to be 16-5. It was quick and brutal, but a very impressive display there from the Poles. And we go into potentially the last round here. We just got Desert Eagles, CZs, and a 5-7 available for Palf. And we'll see how round number 21 does go down for them. Surely at this point, CSGO Lounge, all they really have to do is just stick together, work as a unit, and don't really have to do anything too crazy in terms of a tactical execution.
Spiro down early. GODSENT finding something to try and keep this game alive.
Not much, but something. It's going to take a hell of a job to get back into this series, and that's certainly not helping. Twist pushing aggressively in towards the B storage area. It's Malzinho that finds him, brings it back down to a 4-on-4 situation. Still plenty of time to play over as well. You can see 3 players in the CTs actually heading over to the A side of the map, so they'll be questioning what's going on right now. They have no control of middle as well. They see them kind of tentative as to whether they should be looking towards B or towards middle. And now Terror is coming in. First kill found by Mihu. And he's looking for more here. They will be swarming the B side. And this is it. 1 round will do it. And the CTs don't really have any grounds to even try and go for this retake. But they have no choice, of course. Innocent getting one of the final kills here. It will be 16-5 Map. That is the series over. It's going to be 2-0. And a very convincing victory there for the Poles. I'm impressed, Map.
I'm impressed as well. This is a very well-executed performance, but I'm also underwhelmed significantly by GODSENT. Schneider's not done just yet, but there's really nothing they can do to get back in and find this bomb. It's going to be a desperate play when he's just going to make it done. Schneider can do what he likes, but it's already too late. No kit, even if he gets all the kills.
They
may give it to him, yeah. There it is, done. 16-5. I mean, this is underwhelming from GODSENT. After Malmo, they go to the major, or the minor, the qualifier to the major qualifier. They end up getting beat out by Ints, who's had their struggles over recent days, and now things are looking grim again for them on this particular map. Well, yesterday was a good day for them. Today, not so much.
They're actually one of the teams that actually shouldn't be here in terms of the qualification process. I think they tried to qualify 3 times, and they didn't actually make it through. I think they actually played CSGO like 3 times from what I can see on the online qualifiers as well, and actually lost every single time. So it's not surprising that CSGO Lounge have beaten them, but I didn't think it'd be in this sort of fashion. Obviously, saw Malmo, GODSENT providing like great performances at the stage. You look at the hometown heroes, the underdog story going into that tournament. They played very, very well. This tournament, they had a great start. It's flip side, but this was a bit underwhelming for me.
CSGO Lounge is another one that's not going to be at that major qualifier, which is a bit shocking. I think that they're putting their best foot forward. They're finding steps toward that position, and that's disappointing for them, but here we are on the analyst desk. We are the analysts, we are the casters, we are everything. No, I mean, GODSENT has work to do. Pronax is a mastermind, well, time to show it. He did show it at Malmo, but it was up against teams he was familiar with. In this sense, he's got nothing against them at all.
A lot of work still needs to be done. I think they're out of that honeymoon period now. That's the problem. They went to Malmo, obviously no pressure on their shoulders, no one really expecting anything from them. And when everything's right and you just feel like, well, we can just go in with this little bit of a puck mentality, have some strats in the backbone and back burner, and then going in with the Pronax mastermind mid-round calls. When you go up against a very drill team, from what we've seen from Dobry&Gaming, that's when it seems to be the problems coming in. Here's the bracket.
Look how close VP are already.
Touching distance, Matt.
So too now our CSGO Lounge. So that is your upper bracket final. That blued out section, that's going to be the grand final. There's your lower bracket. Worst players yet to be determined who they play. Actually, I think they now would play off against. So yeah, we now know that. That's going to be GODSENT versus worst players. Hellraisers play Nav V. I don't know why I said it in that fashion.
Nav V.
And then there's basically the lower bracket semi and the lower bracket final in itself. The winner of that will therefore go through to the final. That could be a number of teams in this case still. But I have to say Virtus Pro looking quite good in that situation, all things considered. Na'Vi dropping down today is a bit of a problem. And CSGO Lounge now into the upper bracket final.
Well,
convincing.
There's tomorrow's schedule. You can see how well that went today. It's currently 1 in the morning. So
there is, so the difference is the TBD is going to be on the B stream.
It's actually not.
It's on the mainstream.
It's on the mainstream.
Okay. So it's on the mainstream, but it's not on the stage because that's when the League of Legends happens.
That's what the difference is. So instead of having the League of Legends and the CSGO switching places, I think that's what the difference maker is here. So yeah, that was the original plan to have 2 games going at once, but that has been scrapped, and we're back to it. I was getting so hot that I had to take off my tie. So sorry, I get a bit informal.
I can do that.
Oh yeah, here we go. Sexy music. Let's go. He's got a strip live on our.
You know, this tie I'm about to wear with a yellow shirt didn't really match it. Matches this one all right though. It's a little feminine.
Final thoughts there, Matthew, on the game. What did you take away from GODSENT's performance?
I mean, what can you say about that one? I hate that meme so much. The thing is, I kind of already said it. I mean, Pronax has to come up with something on these CT sets. They picked up 4 rounds there. They couldn't get pistols. Couldn't really get anything rolling. Train was a disaster. They banned out Overpass and Dust, which makes you wonder how poor those are on their own. And I don't know what to say. I mean, tomorrow when they go up against the worst players who are the dark horse in this tournament, they've got some skill on that team. Fix was really good. Simple's been playing lights out because he's kind of built the team around him right now.
You never know what's going to happen when he's playing, right? That's the problem. It's like one of those people who's it's like, well, it's like Nico, right? You say, well, if this guy shows up, he always shows up, and it just depends how hard.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's just going to be crazy to watch. I really enjoyed that first game we got to cast with him. It's just like you just throw the rule book of CS out the window and you see what he can deliver, and it seems to happen most times. So that's definitely going to be a cool game to watch. So we have got 4 best of 3s tomorrow. This is a double elimination best of 3 tournament, which can be a little bit exhausting, but you do get the best CS out of it.
Yes, you do. And you're guaranteed that you get the best teams. It's not like one upset single elimination, you're gone. You have a chance to fight through that lower bracket still. As we're going to see, I mean, Navi's got to do it. Now, on that note, Henry G, I think we should go get some sleep.
Yes, it is 1 in the morning. It will be Blue and Tom kicking things off to you tomorrow at 9 a.m. So don't miss that. It's going to be a good way to kick it off. Tom, one of the other British casters, up and coming right now, seems very good. From what I've seen, I haven't watched. I
haven't had a chance to hear much of him. But the thing is that people have to remember. Is he okay? Yep. So that's very good. So this is one of the things people have to remember. Is there was a lot of posts being who's he? Oh, why is he there? Why is he there?
Yep.
We were all new at some point. I mean, I was brand new at X Games, and I had the same things. You got to give people a chance to get in the door, and I if by what you're saying, I hope it is going well. I I trust your judgment, but I'm
yeah,
curious.
No, like he normally
he
casted the online section of this tournament
Solo.
by himself. Yeah, so he actually to cast by yourself is actually a really hard thing to do. I'm sure you'll know. You've probably done it before. It's a very difficult skill to have, and I've seen him transfer it over to Blue, another not new name in the scene, but a very young guy who's kind of got himself established now. Those guys are working really well together. So definitely tune into that. Let them know what you think. Tweet some nice things.
2 words in my ear.
What is that?
Go sleep.
Go to sleep. We're going to go to sleep. Obviously, thank you for watching. It's been a long day, but come back for more tomorrow.
I don't even know what camera to look at anymore. See you guys.